You seen your brother?
Yes. We had dinner with him last night, and this morning at the Tomb of St. Peter, he had his Mass, and we were a part of that also.
John Prevost travelling from Chicago to Rome to celebrate his brother, the new Pope. How's he doing?
I think he's relaxed. I think he's kind of at ease. I think he realizes the responsibility that lays on his shoulders, and I think he will do just fine.
How do you think he's coping with the newfound pressure?
He's sleeping so far. And yesterday when we were at dinner, he seemed relaxed. So he knows what he's doing, and I think the Holy Spirit is with him.
While John's in town, he's along for the papal journey, where possible. Very touching moment for him to go to Pope Francis's tomb.
Yes.
Did he tell you about that?
We were there. We were with him. We were able to go on his first excursion outside of the Vatican, and it was very moving for all of us. I think you will see a Pope who is walking in Pope Francis's footsteps, a man for the people. And the hundreds of people that lined the streets greeting him, that was also a very incredible experience.
John joined his brother, Pope Leo, for a private Sunday Mass.
I don't think there's enough words to express how proud this moment is for us.
He was also watching on as his sibling delivered his first Sunday noon prayers in St. Peter's Square.
It's just totally incredible. In a sense, it is unbelievable. And someday when I sit down and can be relaxed, it'll all hit me.
The Pope's prayer focusing on ending wars around the world. The Pontiff calling for a lasting peace in Ukraine, a ceasefire in Gaza, and the release of all Israeli hostages, while welcoming a fragile ceasefire between India and Pakistan.
And I'm hoping that, through his example, through his message of peace, that all of the political leaders will heed what he's saying and will be able to stop the killing.
I think it was awesome. Ceasefire, peace to all.
This is the first of what will be many Sunday appearances for Pope Leo in St. Peter's Square, but the audience might not always be this big. People from all over the world turning out to hear what he has to say.
God bless Pope Leo XIV.
At the Vatican, Hannah Sinclair, NBN News.
Our country's biggest clothing brands are coming together tonight for the start of Australian Fashion Week. Madison Scott joins us live from the Museum of Contemporary Art at the Rocks in Sydney. Maddie, the show's about to begin there.
Tash, the energy is electric here tonight and the runway is set and the action is just moments away. I can hear them just taking that quiet now, so we will see that happening here behind us. Now, not only is Carla Zampatti celebrating 60 years, but they are opening Australian Fashion Week, and 14 designers have come together to curate pieces to be included in this runway in honour of the late Carla Zampatti. And Australian Fashion Week has really taken a different direction this year. For the first time, it's now back to that non-for-profit industry-led model, which is really back to being a trade show of sorts, hoping to generate sales for Australian fashion industry brands, and an exciting new era for them as they enter this week.
Maddie, thank you.
The wet May for coastal communities continues. It's an incredible scene across the country with hardly a cloud to be seen unless you live on the east coast. The light to moderate onshore airflow will continue, producing another cloudy day for most east of the Divide with more drizzle and isolated showers heavy at times. The lovely autumn conditions will continue inland right across the northwest. Top temps in the low 20s are the main theme, mid-teens for the tablelands, with the mid-20s out west for the Moree Plains and surrounds.
Next, a potential game changer, the Australian first IVF trial growing eggs outside a woman's body.
Also ahead, a massive blaze takes hold at a warehouse in Bangkok.
And a health scare in the States for Bindi Irwin.
Oh yeah, it feels good to make progress. With Newcastle Permanent's great low rates and up to $3,000 cash back when you apply for your home loan online, we're here to help you move forward. And we're here for good.
Sign up to a new $69 SIM-only Optus plan for 24 months and get a $700 Officeworks gift card. Head in store today for our latest offers. Select stores only. T's and C's apply. Offer available until withdrawn. weekend?
Sure.
The all-new Tiguan. Fit more life in. Discover the Mediterranean in all-inclusive ultra-luxury with Scenic Eclipse in 2026 and save from $3,000 per person. Scenic Eclipse in a class of its own.
Wait time 46 minutes. You are the fourth person in the queue. You are the fifth person in the queue.
When your internet gives you lemons,
Shortest person in the queue. You are the worst person in the queue.
get Tangerine.
Sometimes there are problems we shouldn't have to solve alone. So we're on call to be your guide with our 24/7 Medibank mental health phone and chat support, available to our health insurance members. Live better with Medibank.
In the heart of Victoria, where gum trees stand tall, Eureka Wood Heaters, a legacy for all. From father to son, then to the next. Heritage shared, warmth that connects. Eureka Wood Heaters, generations in the making. Norco Primex 2025 is here. Norco Primex, May 15 to 17 in Casino, New South Wales. Get your program and discounted tickets now.
Groovy, isn't it? This is grouse.
How was this ever a vibe?
The new Fuso Canter, getting the job done since 71.
Need firewood? Beddoes Firewood can deliver up to 4 cubic metres of quality seasoned split firewood from Casino to the Tweed. Plus delivery is super fast and free. Need firewood? Go to beddosfirewood.com with fast, free delivery.
Eureka Furniture's autumn sale. Get 50 to 70% off in-stock furniture, plus interest-free options up to 24 months. Special deals on package purchases available. Shop in-store or online today at eurekafurniture.com.au. For over 100 years, Somerville Laundry Lomax has been providing legal support to individuals, families and businesses. When you need someone who'll stand beside you, turn to the team trusted by generations. Somerville Laundry Lomax, for all matters when it matters most. The inquest into the Westfield Bondi Junction stabbing has heard how killer Joel Cauchi was lost to follow-up, slipping out of the mental health system. After attending regular appointments for years while being treated for schizophrenia, he suddenly found himself with zero monitoring.
For 15 years, Joel Cauchi was successfully treated for schizophrenia. According to his long-term nurses from a private clinic in regional southeast Queensland, he was polite, compliant, never even late for appointments, while medicated on a drug for treatment-resistant schizophrenia. But over a number of years, his psychiatrist weaned him off medication, ceasing it altogether by June 2019. In consultation records the previous year, he was excelling in function, doing more than ever. By October 2019, a little less sleep and fatigue. The next month, the clinic notes his mother reported extreme OCD, odd movements, and possibly hearing voices. His mum had found obsessive notes around the house about being under satanic control.
This is a parent's absolute nightmare when they have a child with mental illness.
His psychiatrist again prescribing antipsychotics, but Cauchi, after experiencing a life free of side effects, refused to take it, saying he felt mentally well. Then in February 2020, he moved to Brisbane, no longer eligible to attend his long-term clinic. A barrister for some of the victims' families saying it was inappropriate for Joel to go from monthly monitoring by a doctor and a nurse to zero monitoring. Do you agree? The nurse replied, yes. Both nurses have decades of experience in mental health. They were both asked if they've had any other patients who have ceased the kind of medication Joel Cauchi was on without an alternative. They both said they've never seen it before. 4 years later, his nurses hear the news. One said she vomited. The other had to sit down, saying the Joel we knew was not the person who did what happened on the 13th of April. Annalise Bolt, NBN News.
More than 100 firefighters have battled a massive blaze in a warehouse in Bangkok that was fueled by plastic and wood. The fire spread to 2 neighbouring buildings and sent thick smoke high into the air. Crews were on scene for hours and had to withdraw from the building at one point due to safety concerns.
This is the moment an oil rig came crashing down in Russia. It was a spectacular sight in Siberia, but has raised fresh questions over the Kremlin's oil infrastructure. 3 workers were critically injured.
Bindi Irwin has suffered a medical emergency during her trip to the United States for the annual Steve Irwin Gala. The 26-year-old was forced to miss the event when she was rushed to hospital in Las Vegas after her appendix ruptured. Her brother Robert says he's confident Bindi will make a speedy recovery.
A new alternative to IVF has arrived in Australia, and it could dramatically change fertility treatment for would-be mothers worldwide. The product, which sees eggs grow outside of a woman's body, is being trialled in Sydney and has been labelled revolutionary.
After 3 long rounds, fertility treatment is an uncomfortable but everyday part of Kylie Harrelson's life.
Bloated, swollen, sore. It's definitely a hard journey.
But for many, a new treatment on trial in Sydney could end that gruelling process.
Instead of 2 weeks of injections, this would be literally a few days of tablets and maybe 2 injections.
An IVF technique first born in a rented apartment in New York by US startup Gamito. IVF Australia making ours the 3rd country in the world to test the approach.
So you have no side effects. So your ovaries are not enlarged. So you're not bloated.
The process gathers eggs before they've matured, placing them in a dish containing a newly developed stem cell product called Fertilo. Those cells mimic ovary cells, creating an environment in which the eggs can quickly grow. And no injections could slash the cost. 1 in 18 children born in Australia are conceived using IVF. Right now, just 4 women here in Sydney are taking part in the trial, but even the experts are calling this a game changer.
I really think that it would be one of the great steps in reproductive medicine.
It's hoped the Sydney trial will expand to 20 women for Fertilo's efficiency on par with traditional techniques. A baby born in December to a mother in Peru.
Having a child would definitely help us fulfill our dreams.
Ruth Wynne-Williams, NBN News.
To finance and super funds have managed to push through global trade uncertainty to post positive returns in a topsy-turvy April. More now from Chris Kohler.
Trade confusion has been a big concern for share markets, but the ASX has been recovering well. Today was its 11th positive day out of the last 13. So while there's still plenty of uncertainty, those superannuation balances shouldn't be looking much worse off for now. In fact, Super Ratings estimates conservative, balanced and growth funds all delivered solid returns in April, and the financial year-to-date returns are now sitting at 5% or more. As for today, ANZ welcomed new CEO Nuno Matos. That job is worth $2.5 million per year, plus bonuses of course, and Woolworths shares dropped after the supermarket announced a price-cutting campaign. The Australian dollar is buying 64 US cents and 57 euro cents, and Bitcoin is back above $100,000 US.
A special piece of ice has been brought to Australia from Antarctica as part of a project to look back 2 million years into our planet's climate history. A dedicated team braved extreme conditions to drill for what is the first of many core samples to be examined.
It might not seem like much, a 150-metre core sample of ice, but it is an incredible milestone.
After so much effort by so many people and so much planning and so much time, it was really a very special moment for me, and to point of close to a tear in the eye to finally get that first ice core.
After years of weather and COVID delays, a team of 10 people finally travelled 1,200 kilometres from Australia's Casey Research Station to a field camp called Dome C North. Along with scientists were mechanics, electricians, a carpenter and a doctor, all towing 600 tonnes of equipment through a vast expanse of white.
So we sort of left in more or less blizzard conditions. For some of those days we were only doing 30 kilometres a day.
After a special tent was erected, drilling began, 2 shifts working 16 hours a day for 20 days.
Some of us, like myself, were doing core, measuring cores and taking down data on cores and packing them up and wrapping them up, putting them in, packing them away to be sent back.
The team is all set up with a larger drill so they can go deeper, down to 400 metres next year.
But the seasons after that, when the drill is fully set up, the target is 1,000 metres per year, which puts us on track to finish the borehole Rich Bedrock, which is at just over 3 kilometres, in season 28-29.
That will give scientists an ice record going back up to 2 million years, extending our understanding of why our planet's climate system changed. And that work has already begun, with the first core samples now back in Australia. Eddie Meyer, NBN News.
Wow, very exciting.
It is.
Some interesting data to come. All right, let's move to sport now with Adam Murray.
Adam, Roosters coach Trent Robinson, well, he's given the Knights quite the serve.
That's for sure. Good evening, guys. It involves the future of out-of-favour winger Dom Young. Robinson reveals his version of events, which led to Young being offered an early release. He's not happy with the Knights. Meanwhile, in Newcastle, the Red and Blue welcome a new face to training, and the end of an era. Virat Kohli pulls up stumps.
Honda end of financial year event is now on. Get a finance offer from 3.99% per annum comparison rate across the entire range. Applies to a 36-month term with minimum 10% deposit required. Hurry, ends June 30.
Experience next level nourishment. Nivea body lotion now with pure hyaluron moisturizes for longer than ever. When our skin looks this good, we show up more confidently. New Nivea body lotion. Skin is for feeling it. Nivea is for skin.
HCF Life Insurance gives members up to $1.5 million cover to help protect their family. And now, Kate gets this ad to share a family update.
We didn't think we were going to be able to have another child, but we're pregnant!
Gary, what the...
Search more homes for sale than anywhere else and find a choice of expert mortgage brokers who'll help make it yours. Keep moving with realestate.com.au.
How good is a barista almond latte in the comfort of your own home? How good is that smooth and creamy taste? How good is enjoying a barista quality latte? Oh, and a baby chino. How good? So good.
You're welcome home. Departure zone. Place to dine. Catch-up time. It's all of those things. It's an extension of you. Bedding now at Oz Design. Make your dream come true.
It's business as usual at Lismore Workers Golf Club. Catch up with friends and enjoy a cool drink or a meal in May's Kitchen, Asian fusion restaurant. Lismore Workers Golf Club. Great place to meet and eat. Open daily.
People always tell us how much the dentures have improved the quality of life. And they're always surprised at the affordability, and they often wish that they'd done it sooner. We love building confident smiles, helping build confidence too.
Years manufacturing experience. Service centres nationwide. Layouts to suit everyone. Australian Caravan Centre is your go-to Australian-made Supreme and Leader caravans.
Not enough. So don't forget it. The things we do for love. The things we do for love. Don't like cricket. No.
It's been described as the Roosters' purge, but today it was Newcastle in the club's crosshairs. Coach Trent Robinson blasting the Knights over the future of out-of-favour winger Dom Young, claiming the Tricolours were never pushing him out.
A rare appearance early in the week for Trent Robinson. He arrived with something to say.
It's been an annoying week, I think, from our point of view and Dom's point of view, and
yeah, it's just not how you do things.
It had been reported the Roosters were releasing Dom Young to the Knights as part of a salary cap clean-out, but the coach says the potential switch and stalled discussions are Newcastle's doing.
We had not one discussion about letting Dom go at all. Then we get approached by Newcastle and his management, and they say, you know, we want this to happen. And then they want us to release him, but us to pay money for it when we weren't even thinking about releasing him. In what world does that happen? Like, you asked, you said that you had room in your cap, so get it sorted. I think they're trying to bluff us into, but we didn't want it to happen.
Robinson says Young can return to the NRL side.
There's no issue, it's just, I thought Mark was outplaying him. Really simple.
But Brandon Smith's time at the Tricolours is now over. He underwent his medical with the Rabbitohs today.
That's pretty clean. I think that should get sorted out today. It was financial for us, really. He's going there next year, gets them a head start. You know, we did it with Mark last year.
Smith's departure frees up funds for the Roosters.
We're in negotiations with 3 of our guys that are already on contract, some of the younger guys.
But their big target remains Daly Cherry Evans.
I said it maybe 6 weeks ago, that we were interested. We haven't had any discussions since then, and we'll get to it in due course, whether it can get worked out.
And the series is still on the line.
The Blues haven't held the Shield since 2022. Former India skipper Virat Kohli has pulled stumps on Test cricket, effective immediately, and after a career full of centuries and controversy. Today's retirement reveal was also unforgettable.
Lucky you're with Amy.
What does it take to be a master? Determination, craftsmanship, creativity. You're with Amy.
Amy.
What does it take to be a master?
Round 2 begins in Poland on Friday. In round 4 of the NRRL competition, Kyogle Turkeys got the better of Mullumbimby Giants, while Blamble defeated Murwillumbah. And in a tight battle, the Coogin Hornets beat Ballina Seagulls on their home turf.
Both teams coming off wins in round 3. Ballina started off on the right foot against Coogin. Jordan Lee made an early break for the home side.
Test the right side here of the Hornets defence.
Kai Sarik followed suit to add 4 more for the Seagulls. Coogin winger Malachi Dumas then responded.
Well as Malachi Dumas.
Connor Zeeble brought things back to evens for the Hornets right before the break.
And I think that's one of the Zeeble boys gets the shoulder down.
Out of the sheds, Harry Siverwright crossed in the right corner for Ballina to edge them back in front.
Attacking footy and ever is it so.
But Hornets halfback Elliot Speed showed just that.
Back on track is Jackson Rowena. Offloads at Elliot Speed.
Coogin snatching the game 20 points to 16. Alexandra Rees, NBN News.
More than 100 board riders are preparing to take to the waves for the 44th annual Bird Rock Classic. Ideal surfing conditions are expected for what's set to be an action-packed weekend in Bonny Hills.
A competition that's hosted Aussie surfing legends.
Guys like Mick Kane, Marcus Brabant, he was on tour, Darren O'Rafferty, he was on the world tour. Just so many names, and there's so much history when you look at these names on achievements in surfing in our area.
Honouring a surf culture that's thrived in Port Macquarie since the 1960s, and the board riders lost along the way.
The Bird Rock originally was called the Mark Edwards Memorial Classic. It started in 1981. A friend of ours was